So funny when I've been in Toledo now for 44 years, and every year St. Patty's Day gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
I mean, you got to join in on all the festivities.
Yeah,
you can't be sticking them up.
People are in a great mood. We need that, right? For mental health, we need to be in a great mood and just have a great time and party.
Well, since you said it's been, quite a few times you've enjoyed and noticed the growth of the excitement. I know other things have been happening Flashback Friday wise.
Oh yeah, like we mentioned, St. Patrick's Day on this Sunday, and while it's not an official holiday stateside, it should be. It's not. That's never stopped Americans from celebrating.
There are so many different ways to celebrate St. Patty's Day. Some folks choose to attend the special religious services, and as well as other things.
Others just head to the bar.
Exactly. Now, back in St. Patrick's Day in 1983, Toledo 11 reporter Rebecca Hansaw as well as Dan Buckley actually teamed up. It had to be a team thing, Dan. A couple different ways to show which Toledoans decided to commemorate the very special day.
The Irish tradition exploded today at the Seagate Concourse, but judging from all the folks involved, it was difficult to know where the Irish stopped and the plain old American fun began. Among the Irish un-Irish was Betty Richburg, who, after years as a dancer, speaks authoritatively on the Irish jig.
It takes time and experience through the years to really get it down to where you're doing it with meaning, and I think it takes a little time if you want to do it right.
Downstairs, Toledo's mayor participated in a little of the blarney by fussing over a letter from the Lord Mayor of Dublin, paying his respects to Toledo. And children, dressed in the Irish garb, circulated among many of the un-Irish grown-ups who make the St. Patty's tradition theirs also.
I didn't want to get pinched. Everybody told me I had to wear green today. My wife and everybody.
I don't really know much about the background, but everybody has a good time, so
and we're green.
I'm going to join with it, right?
Apparently, the Irish don't mind because, as one lass alluded to, the American melting pot turns green one day a year.
They don't have to be Irish. Everybody is Irish on March 17th. Everyone joins in the spirit, regardless of nationality.
In another part of town, our resident Irishman, Dan Buckley, found another group of Toledoans who are celebrating the holiday the American way.
In Ireland on St. Patrick's Day, there's very little drinking that goes on because it's a religious feast day and the bars are closed. On this side of the Atlantic, however, the story's just the opposite. Here in the States, there's probably more beer consumed on this day than any other single day of the year. And strange things happen to people on this day, and it appears to have little to do with the amount of beer they drink. First of all, many feel compelled to be decked out in green. There are even green bagels to eat. How Irish can you get? And it seems that no matter what the nationality, everyone is Irish on this day, and I mean everyone. What is it about St. Patrick's Day that everybody gets a little crazy and sticks shamrocks on their cheeks and paints their beard green?
I don't know. I don't think half the people in here are Irish. I'm a Scotsman. And I was talking to somebody a while ago that was Polish. And I think half of them in here are just everybody, and everybody just wearing the green for today. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
That may well be the question of the day, as everyone seems to have another excuse to party. In the end, even the most objective observer can't help but get caught up in the Irish spirits. Dan Buckley, Toledo 11 News.
Buckley's Irish, by the way.
Yeah, so it made sense for him to, of course, be among his people / not people, I guess. But regardless of what the nationality is saying, what everybody obviously is noting, everybody is Irish when it comes to March 17th, Dan.
So, how do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day this weekend? Do you get yourself into the Irish spirit, or do you just get into the Irish spirits?
I mean, well, personally, I got to go to work, so I'm going to wear green, and I'm going to ask John to wear green because he's going to work with me, but he also has a green screen.
Yeah, you're working, I'm not, so
What
you
are
can
you
make your
doing?
conclusions from that. By the way, when that story was done, I knew those people, they're two reporters, Buckley and Hanshaw. I was 29 years old.
Party boy.
Back in 1983. Yeah, how
Good
about that?
times.
St. Patty's Day, I love it. It's been a few years. I don't know if I had work conflicts or something going on. I couldn't go. So this weekend, it being a Sunday, my wife and I are meeting some friends downtown, and yeah, we're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
I got the T-shirt, the hat. I got the
Shamrock stickers.
Oh, I've got all
You're
of it.
ready.
Barb, my wife, really gets into it as well.
I'm excited. Of course, that we know that you love to watch old stories in addition to being Irish. Go ahead and head on over to the WTO11 archive on our WTO11 Vault. There's a special playlist on our YouTube channel. New in WTO11 Vault this week is just in time for the start of this year's Severe Weather Awareness Week. Toledo 11 climatologist Dave Carlson.
Who?
Dave.
Dave Carlson.
You said it, I said it.
I know Dave, yeah.
Oh, well, Dave, he's got some tips actually for some severe weather safety. Back in 93?
Yeah.
93. Oh,
93. And an early spring warm-up in 1990 meant an earlier start to the walleye run. Dick Berry spent some time with a few local anglers as they tried to land their trophy. Only able to see these stories on the WTO 11 Vault.
You got
so
it.
be sure to check it out.
You gotta. All right, now up next.